Hello guys, this is Linas, Lima Yankee 2 Hotel. It's end of January 2021, full of snow, lots of snow, and there's still Corona lockdown going on. So that's why I have to wear a mask while in the open, even in the street. But life's going on too. The post office is working, and I'm getting now from the post office with a small box in my hand. There's something radio in it, some small radio in it. Let's see what I've got here. Right. I don't like the unboxing videos because they are boring except of the person who's unboxing. But the unboxing, let's to evaluate how the company was taking care of your goods, and that's pretty important to know. Nice box with the Ukrainian names on it. Nova Posta, New Post. It's not the name of the radio. And let's see what's inside this nice box. Inside the nice box we have a pretty nice packaging, and here is the radio. It's pretty safe. The wrapping material. Here we have power cord. Do it yourself. Yes, I gotta solder up the power cord. And now the most important part, the radio, which is wrapped into a foam packing material. Looks pretty nice. And voila, here we are. SDR Minion. SDR Minion is kind of discovering its QRP radio class. The market is pretty saturated with different radios, lots of them, kits, and more expensive, less expensive. But SDR Minion is kind of a bit unique in its class due to its very compact size. First of all, measuring like 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by almost 3 centimeters, or 4" by 4" by a little bit than 1 inch in size. So that's pretty unique for a radio which covers the whole HF bands from 160 to 10 meters in 10 band slots. Then this radio, for its size, is unique in it having a small but fully functioning color display, displaying not only usual things like SWR, power meter, frequency readout, but also a fully functioning waterfall and spectrum scope. This is unique. There are more expensive QRP radios having much bigger screens, which is amazing, of course, but it's no less amazing that such a small radio it's also got a fully functioning color display. So the radio is made in Ukraine by a small company called QRPver. I'm not sure what does it mean, but I can only guess it's an abbreviation of two words: QRP, like small power, low power, and transceiver. QRP plus transceiver, we have QRPver. But that's only my guess. I don't know for sure. The company doesn't say anything on their website about the origin of the name, but I suppose that could be a good explanation. If you got your versions, please leave a comment below. So the radio doesn't seem very complicated, but nevertheless it's got 2 encoders. It's got 6 buttons. On the back it's got an antenna connector, the BNC antenna connector, which is good. I think that the BNC connector is fixed to the back panel of the radio, not just soldered into the PCB as we usually have with the small and cheap QRP radios, but it's also fixed to the back panel. What does it mean? It means that this is more stable and within a time when you're carrying the radio, going into the fields in the portable operation, the BNC usually gets loose, break in the inside, and finally you may lose the contact or the antenna. By the way, manual is not provided as in the printed form in the box when you open it up, but it's available on the website. All right. I know. Who reads manuals nowadays? I'm joking. I do. I always read manuals first, but I agree that for the first impression, for the first power on of the radio, it's always very interesting and pretty tempting just to switch the radio on and see how intuitive it is. So my first test is called no manual test. So for the power on we need a power cord, but I was not using the supplied power cord because first it's too short, maybe some 50 cents, which is too short I think for me, and secondly it turned to be that the supplied plug I showed you in the beginning is totally wrong for this type of the plug of the socket in the radio. It's too small. It doesn't fit. So it was a mistake. The company mistakenly put the wrong plug. Okay, it's not a big deal, because what is good, the power socket is of very widely spread and universal 5mm size. So luckily I have my own ready-made power cord with exactly this plug, which is terminated in the Anderson power poles plugs, which are connected to my test jumbo battery, 12 volts, 12 amp hours lithium iron phosphate battery, which I'm gonna use as a stand for this little radio like that, and as my power source, just to eliminate any possible hum or noise from the mains. So what do? We just plug in the power cord, and it seems that there's no any other power on option except of this general nice looking red switch. There's nothing you have to push to press for the power on, like any button or encoder switch or any separate button. You just switch the radio on by pushing that. Before I do this, I will connect my antenna, which is end-fed half-wave 80 to 10 meters antenna, stretching outside above the roof of my house, and we will see. So let's do it. And radio starts after some initializing time. It's a bit inconvenient that it's, it doesn't have any stand as most other radios. If you look at any other transceiver, the big transceiver, you may find the tilt over stand, which would be a very good idea for this tiny radio. If we push and hold the FL menu button, we go into the menu folder. Saving our time, I'm not gonna go into each and every menu of these out of these 25 menus on this little radio, but there are some menus worthwhile to speak about, and one of the first ones is of course the waterfall on or the waterfall off. The waterfall on or the waterfall off. So if we make the waterfall on and go back to the screen, we see the waterfall on the screen instead of the spectrum scope on the screen. Unfortunately, it's not possible on this radio to have both at the same time. And we see the noise blanker, which is controllable also from the front panel. We see the split on or off. So it means there is no on this radio RIT or XIT function, meaning receive incremental tuning and or transmit incremental tuning. Instead, there is a function split on or off. If you make it on and you go back to the screen, you see the split icon lighting, indicating that you can work now split, like chasing DX, transmitting on one frequency, listening to onto the other frequency. This is good. That's very convenient. So then we have tuning step, then we have TX input. That's important to know. It could be microphone or line. Microphone or line, depending on what kind of input you use. If you use microphone and work SSB, you choose mic. If you work digital modes and you feed the transceiver with the signal from your computer, you choose line. And then the input gain related with the input signal, microphone gain related and depending on the type of the microphone you use, and different equalizers for the audio on this radio. Beeper on or off, auto bright on or off, brightness, you can choose it by hand, what I did in this radio, and power. Raw, I don't know what it means. I think it's something for the engineers, not for us users. So if we go back to the screen and we choose another mode, CW, and go again to the menu, we see a little bit different set of menus. It calls CW menu. It's basically much of the menu items are the same as for the SSB or general menu, except of things related concretely to the CW mode. So we see the key trainer on or off. We see the key type. You can choose between straight key or iambic key. Straight key or iambic key. So it's only iambic key for the electronic keyer. You cannot choose any other type of electronic keyer except of iambic. We don't know how it works. We'll try it later on. If you choose straight key, it's convenient in a way that of course you can use the straight key if you are a fan of the straight keying on CW, but in this mode it's also useful to get a continuous tone to tune your antenna tuner. Key WPM, keywords per minute. You can choose your electronic keyer, your electronic keyer speed. A large selection of speeds for any skill level or any wish level. The same menu split, on or off. You can use it both on SSB and CW equally successfully to work DX on split. And there are also useful menus F1 and F2, which relates to the bandwidth of the CW filters. One filter starts from 200 Hertz. You can regulate it. Of course, it's fully digital. It's nothing mechanically fixed. You can choose any width of the filter starting from 200 and up. And F2 is 500 Hertz filter. So, but you also can configure the filter of your, so to say, taste. The filter of your taste to have both F1 and F2, two filters for CW at any bandwidth you wish. That's a great advantage of SDR technology, and very useful and works very well on this little radio. TX delay is a useful feature. You may set the time which takes for the radio to get back from transmitting to receiving. So it's kind of usually around 250, 200, 300 milliseconds is enough. Self-control on or off, reverse key on or off. So this is related with if you are a left-handed CW operator, you probably want to have reverse key on. If not, so you leave it reverse gear off if you are a right-handed CW operator. So that's pretty much it with the menus. The menus are not complicated, easy to use, and pretty intuitive. All right, so the no manual test was not so difficult to pass. So what's left for today? Just to try to listen around for the bands on this little radio, and maybe to try to make a quick QSO. Here's another strong Lithuanian station, Lima Yankee 7, Mexico. And we can see there are around other strong stations, and they do not interfere. Let's move a little bit down the frequency, like 1 kilohertz to 3.515. So it's roughly 1 kilohertz down from the strong station. And we hear another strong Lithuanian station, Lima Yankee 7, Lima Yankee 6 Alpha. So here's in the blue cursor Lima Yankee 6 Alpha, and here, where's the red cursor? It's the former strong station, Lima Yankee 7 Mexico. And they do not interfere with each other. They do not interfere with each other even on 500 Hertz filter, because we can see the pretty high level signal here on the line of the red cursor. That's Lima Yankee 7 Mike, and here is Lima Yankee 6 Alpha, two very strong local stations. So the reception side of this receiver, SDR Minion, is very, very good. For the SSB, I just improvised and took my Elecraft MH3 microphone from my Elecraft KX2 radio with the homemade adapter. Lima Yankee 2 Hotel QRP, Lima Yankee 2 Hotel QRP. Lima Yankee 2 Hotel, Lima Yankee 2 Hotel, Lima Yankee 2 Hotel, QRP station.
Lima Yankee 2 Hotel, Lima Yankee 2 Hotel, Japan Hotel 7, Mike Queen Delta. Hello, good afternoon, thank you for your call. You are 516, name is Aki, America, Kilowatt, Italy, over.
Roger, Aki, Juliet Hotel 7, Mike Delta, Mike Queen Delta. This is Lima Yankee 2 Hotel QRP. Akis, thank you very much. You are a 5x9, 59. Name is Linas, London, India, Nancy, Alpha, Sierra. London, India, Nancy, Alpha, Sierra. I'm running QRP 5 watts. QSL?
Okay, Linas, thank you, 509 report. Lima Yankee 2 Hotel, Japan Hotel 7, Mexico, Queen Delta. Thank you, Linas, nice US on the 509. 73, take care, sayonara.
Sayonara 73. All right, guys, I like Japan on 40 meters in the early afternoon with this 5, maybe 6 watt radio with the end-fed half-wave long wire antenna. Today we had an unboxing, we had a no manual, and we had a first impression tests, which passed pretty fine. So, but this is not all. We're gonna have more tests on this SDR Minion made in Ukraine, in Odessa, and we're gonna do the CW test. We're gonna do digital test. We're gonna make some measurements. We're gonna do the power test, the draw power test to indicate how much power does it take, and also to measure how much power does it output. So please stay tuned if you wanna get more information about this nice little SDR Minion radio. Alright guys, before saying goodbye for today and finishing this video, I have to say some sad news. during few days before I was filming and editing this video, we had a terrible snowstorm, and we have so many snow, tons of snow on the trees, that the branches of the pine tree, which was hosting my end-fed half-wave antenna wire, just broken down, and I got my antenna lost. So it was going from the almost top of this pine tree on to my house over there. So I only now have the vertical R8 left. So let's hope that I will be able to do more videos on this small radio review and other. And when the time is getting better, I will try to re-establish my end-fed half-wave antenna. So let's hope for better, stay safe, and see you later. This is Linas Lima Yankee 2 Hotel 73.